What's going on, Met fans? Welcome to Randy Talks Mets. Guys, this is where you get your latest Mets content. We're going to get into over here the series preview between the Milwaukee Brewers and the New York Mets. It is a huge series for the New York Mets that are on a losing streak right now. And yeah, at the end of the day, the Mets need to win games. But when it comes to Kodai Senga, we got to talk about Kodai Senga, guys. His season right now, a 7-3 record with a 2.31 ERA. His last three games against the San Francisco Giants on August 2nd, he allowed 4 runs in 4 innings. So that is not good. And then you had another start against the Giants, 5 innings. 3 runs allowed. That is also not good for Kodai Senga. A guy like Kodai Senga, ever since the injury, coming back from the injury, he hasn't been that good. And then you had another start against the Angels on July 21st. 3 innings and 4 runs allowed. That is not going to get the job done. That's not going to get the job done. I don't like that from Kodai Senga. To me, Kodai Senga is lacking something. He is really just not looking he's not looking good pitching wise. He's working with his mechanics, and I get that, but man, when it comes to Kodai Senga, he has to be better. He has to be better. The Mets need him to be better. The Mets need him to be that ace, that Kodai Senga, that they need him to be the ace and they need him to be a guy that pitches good for the Mets. And we haven't got that. We haven't got that lately from Kodai Senga. But to me, I like Kodai Senga. I think he has really good stuff still. I think the forkball, at times they don't really chase. But, man, the New York Mets, they got to win this series. This is a huge, huge, huge series for the New York Mets that are already on a losing streak and already not playing that well. But when it comes to a guy like Brandon Woodruff, he's a guy that's 3-0 on the season. He came back from injury. He missed a whole year. But he's 3-0 with a 2.22 ERA. And Brandon Woodruff is a good pitcher. This guy's a good pitcher. And the Mets, it's not going to be easy for the New York Mets. But at the end of the day, the Mets got to hit. And the Mets really got to... And obviously, you got to get a quality start from Kodai Senga. So, and what I don't like about, Kodai Senga starts lately is he just hasn't been trusting his stuff. He hasn't been trusting his fastball. He's been throwing too much fork balls. He's not been getting the chase when it comes to the fork ball. So it's been an issue for Kodai Senga these last 3 starts, and he has to pick it up here. He has to pick it up. So I'm hoping he can somehow pick this up soon, because I like Kodai Senga. I still trust this guy. I still think he's good, but he gotta really pick this up here. But let's get into the Mets top 4 here, what I want to talk about. The Mets top 4, they got to hit, guys. The Mets top 4, they have to hit. Brandon Nimmo, Lindor, Soto, Alonso, they got to hit. If the Mets are going to go somewhere, if the Mets are going to win games, the top of the lineup needs to show up. They got to show up. And I'm hoping that they do. I'm truly hoping that they do, because, man... The at-bats from Soto, lately, he hasn't been that good. He hit a home run the other day, and obviously he's the reason we didn't get no hit. But he was 6 for 40 before that. So to be honest, we're not getting a lot from Juan Soto, and I'm hoping that him being frustrated will help him. I'm hoping they somehow the frustration will help this guy Soto, because Soto is a big part of this team, man. And if he gets going, and if Alonso gets going, and it just in general the top of the lineup gets going, they're going to be dangerous. And we need the Mets to be dangerous. We need the Mets to be better. We need the Mets to show up. And day in, day out, when it comes to Lindor, Nimmo, all these guys, they gotta hit, man. They gotta hit. It's not going to be easy against Brandon Woodruff, but you gotta hit. You gotta put the pressure on the pitcher. You gotta play some small ball. You gotta do something. And that is the big issue with the New York Mets. With runners in scoring position, they just can't hit. They can't get the job done. they can't execute. And I don't know exactly why. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense that you're not a good team with runners in scoring position when you look at the top four they got. They got Nimmo, man. Nimmo to me has been a different type of hitter this year. He's been trying to have some power, but he's been trying to put the ball the other way as well, trying to poke the ball the other way. Brandon Nimmo is still, trying to find out what type of hitter he is. This guy is a guy that he has been shuffled around in the lineup. And to me, I feel like that's hurt him. I don't like Brandon Nimmo in the first spot, second spot, third spot, fifth spot. Like, can we just pick a spot for Brandon Nimmo and keep him there? Can we just, I get it. I know you're trying to look for answers in this lineup. I get that. But come on, man. So, Lindor, obviously he struggled since the toe injury. Obviously. But that toe should be healed by now. And he got to get it going. Lindor to me is a guy that he gotta put the team on his back, man. He got to put the team on his back. He did it last year, and I'm hoping he can do it this year again. I have faith that he can do it. I have faith. Yeah, I got faith, man. I think Lindor can put the team on his back. We just got to see it, though. We got to see it. And then you got Pete Alonso, and to me, Pete Alonso is a guy that's been hot lately. But we gotta get him. We gotta get him going. We gotta get him being consistent. I don't know if you guys know, but the Mets and Alonso, they said that he had a bone bruise. It was a month ago, and we've seen the struggles that he had last month, and it was really bad. It wasn't good. It really wasn't good. So the Mets, they gotta wake up. They gotta start hitting. The offense has to come through. We're waiting for it, but I don't know exactly when. When is it going to happen for the New York Mets? I don't know. But we haven't seen the top of the lineup get hot all year. All these four together, we haven't seen it. And I'm hoping we do see it. I'm hoping we do see it at some point because the Mets need it. The Mets need it. You're 2.5 games of the Phillies. So I'm hoping that the Mets can get it together here. I'm hoping they can get it together. We will see at the end of the day what happens, but the Mets, to me, have a glaring issue, and I got to talk about it. The Mets need to fix, guys. They need to fix, and they need to put a consistent lineup out there. This changing in and out, guys, to me, is just not good for young guys. Like, can we just pick Ronnie Mauricio or Brett Beatty? To me, I've seen enough of Brett Beatty. I've seen enough. He's had multiple chances. But Brett Beatty, to me, has had some good parts of the season. This is the first season that Brett Beatty is actually hitting the ball with power and hitting the ball hard. We're finally seeing Brett Beatty hit the ball in the air. But a guy like Ronnie Mauricio is a guy that if you put him in, day out in this lineup, and you stick with Ronnie Mauricio over Brett Beatty, I think he's going to be good. Because I feel like Ronnie Mauricio has the higher ceiling, but also, man, he's just a more dangerous at bat. He's just a more dangerous threat. And in this lineup, you want a dangerous threat out there. And to me, you've seen Ronnie Mauricio get that home run against Randy Rodriguez in a big spot. You've seen Ronnie Mauricio get the home run against Robert Suarez, literally in the last inning. To me, Ronnie Mauricio has a lot of talent. But I feel like if you're, in and out with these lineups, Ronnie Mauricio, Brett Beatty, all these guys, Mark Vientos, it's not consistent. How are these guys able to actually stay consistent at the plate? First of all, you're not playing Ronnie Mauricio against lefties right now. I get it. You want to put Mark Vientos' bat and Marte's bat in the lineup. But to me, you got to have Ronnie in there. You got to have Ronnie Mauricio in there. See what you got in the kid, man. See what you got. And stick with him. To me, Ronnie Mauricio's a guy that should be getting the most playing time out of Brett Baty and Ronnie Mauricio. Not this flip-flopping between Brett Baty and Ronnie Mauricio. And against lefties has been an issue for Ronnie Mauricio. But he's not going to get better not facing lefties. That's not going to happen. So the Mets got to give Ronnie Mauricio some opportunity to face these lefties. And if you want to put Mark Vientos in the lineup, which obviously I get, I want Mark Vientos in the lineup as well, but you put him as the DH. Or if you want Marte, Ronnie Mauricio, and Mark Vientos in the lineup against a lefty, you put Mark Vientos at third, you put Ronnie Mauricio at second, you put Jeff McNeil at left field. Yes, your bench, you could do that. You could do that. Because Nimmo's not good against lefties. He's not. He hasn't been. But you want to put Marte in the lineup? Then this is what you're going to have to do. If you want to get Ronnie, Mark, all these guys in there, you're going to have to sacrifice some things. And sometimes I know Ronnie Mauricio isn't the best second baseman because he's tall. He's a guy that can't really, go to his right so perfectly and all that at second base. He doesn't have a lot of range at second base. But, yeah, he has a strong arm. He has a strong arm, but he doesn't have a lot of range, going fast to that ball, to his right, to his left. So it's something that I think that the Mets need to fix, man. They somehow need to find a consistent lineup. Stick with Mark Vientos as your DH. I love Marte. I like Marte a lot. But Mark Vientos, to me, is the guy that should be getting the most at-bats at DH. He hit 27 home runs last year. You've seen lately, he's been hot. So why not just stick with the kid, man? Stick with the kid. And if you want to give Marte some playing time, okay. But he can't play every single time against lefties. If you want Ronnie and Mark and all these guys in there. It's not an easy thing to even say, because it's not an easy thing to really think about. It's not easy. I get it. Ronnie has struggled against lefties. Mark has been pretty good lately. And then you got Marte, who's one of your best hitters against lefties. You got to have him in the lineup. But it's like, we just got to pick a specific lineup already, man. I'm tired of the shuffling and in and out. Day in, day out, Mark Vientos should be your DH. Plain and simple. He's not that good of a defender. So have him as your DH. But man, I think that this lineup has a lot of potential. And I've been waiting all year for this lineup to really explode, And we haven't seen it. So I'm hoping we do see it at some point. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, definitely do me a favor. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You guys are awesome. Have a good one. Let's go Mets. And let me know what you guys think about all this, of everything I said.